The Galactic Naval Academy's surveillance footage would later be analyzed by 17 different committees, 3 military tribunals, and become required viewing for every xenobiology course in the known systems. 9 seconds. That's all it took for Cadet Jessica Martinez to rewrite the Academy's understanding of human physiology. The incident began in Bay 7 of the station's training complex, where gravity could be adjusted to accommodate the various species of the Galactic Coalition. Jessica had been there barely 3 weeks, one of only 12 humans accepted into the prestigious program out of thousands of applicants from across Earth. She was reviewing flight simulations when they surrounded her. 7 cadets. All from species that had never encountered a Deathworlder before. Vorathians, mostly, tall, slender beings from a 0.6 G world with atmosphere so pure that Earth's air would poison them within hours. Their ringleader, a cadet named Zeltak, stood nearly 7 feet tall but weighed less than Jessica's 140 pounds. Deathworlder trash, Zeltak hissed through his translator. Your kind don't belong here. Too primitive. Too violent. The irony wasn't lost on Jessica, but she'd been briefed extensively before leaving Earth. Don't engage. Don't escalate. Humans were on probation in the Coalition. One mistake could doom humanity's application for membership. I don't want trouble, Jessica said calmly, her hands raised in a placating gesture. Your planet is a nightmare of disasters and predators, another bully chimed in, a Kalzorian whose homeworld had never developed creatures larger than house cats. You evolved in hell. You're dangerous just by existing. Jessica had heard it all before. Earth's 1G gravity. Earth's violent weather patterns. Earth's ecosystem where everything seemed designed to kill everything else. The fact that humans were persistence hunters who could literally run prey to death. That human bones were incredibly dense compared to most species. That human muscle tissue was laced with a redundancy that seemed almost paranoid in its efficiency. She understood their fear. She'd spent her whole life at 1G. The Academy's standard 0.8 G environment felt like walking on the moon to her, even after 3 weeks of adjustment. Please, Jessica said. Just let me pass. Zeltak's response was to shove her. Hard. To him, it probably seemed like a strong push. To Jessica, who'd been pushed by linebackers during high school football scrimmages, it was nothing. She didn't even stumble. That's when his pride kicked in. That's when he nodded to the others. The surveillance footage, played at normal speed, showed chaos. Played at 1/10 speed, it revealed something else entirely, precision. Second 1, Zeltak lunged. Jessica's hand snapped up, caught his wrist, and the fundamental difference in bone density did the rest. The Vorathian's radius and ulna fractured instantly. Compound fracture. He was already falling. Second 2, a Kalzorian came from her left. Jessica's elbow, driven by muscles that evolved to throw spears hard enough to pierce thick hides, caught him in the thorax. 3 ribs shattered. Collapsed lung. He hit the deck gasping. Second 3 to 4, 2 more rushed her simultaneously. Jessica's leg swept low, a move she'd learned in the jiu-jitsu classes mandatory for all American military families. In Earth's gravity, it would have been a standard takedown. In 0.8 G, against beings with hollow bones, it was devastating. Both went down with fractured legs and shattered knee joints. Second 5, she spun. Another bully had grabbed something, a maintenance tool, and was swinging. Jessica caught his arm mid-swing, pulled him into the rotation, and threw him. On Earth, he might have landed badly and gotten bruised. Here, he sailed 12 feet and impacted the wall with enough force to crack 2 vertebrae. Second 6 to 8, the last 2 hesitated. Fatal mistake. Jessica didn't charge, that would have looked aggressive on the footage. Instead, they charged her. She sidestepped, used their momentum, and introduced them to the deck plating. 1 dislocated shoulder. 1 fractured skull. Both unconscious. Second 9, Zeltak, still conscious despite his shattered arm, tried to activate his emergency beacon. Jessica stepped on his hand, gently, by her standards. Every bone in it broke. Then she stood there, breathing normally, not even winded, while alarms began to wail. The inquiry took 3 days. They examined every frame. They interviewed Jessica for 16 hours straight. They brought in human physiology experts who explained, with growing concern from the coalition members, exactly what humans were capable of. She wasn't even trying to hurt them, Dr. Rebecca Foster explained to the tribunal. If Cadet Martinez had intended lethal force, all 7 would be dead. What you witnessed was restraint. Remarkable restraint, actually. The tribunal's senior member, an ancient Thessian who'd lived for 3 centuries, stared at the footage. She moves like a predator. We all do, Dr. Foster said quietly. Because we are. You invited a species from a Class 12 Deathworld into your academy. This is what we are. Every single human is like this. We're built for a world that's been trying to kill us since we climbed down from the trees. In the end, Jessica was cleared of all charges. Self-defense. Proportional response, though that phrase caused some bitter laughs among the human observers. Zeltak and his companions faced expulsion. But the real change came in the Academy's policies. New weight classes for combat training. Mandatory education about human capabilities for all cadets. And a quiet understanding that spread through the coalition, don't fuck with Deathworlders. Jessica Martinez graduated top of her class 2 years later. At the ceremony, the Commandant, a being from a world where the most dangerous predator was equivalent to Earth's butterflies, gave her the honor cord himself. His hands shook the entire time. 9 seconds. That's all it had taken to change everything.